Hello, PerfBytes listeners. It's your old friend Satan here. It is with great esteem that I'm proud to introduce this week's edition of The News of the Damned.
Can you dig it?
It's hot in here. I was getting hot. This guy keeps poking at my bowels. He wants to keep pulling them out. My guts, my entrails, skewer me on a stick. You hear that sound? That rotating sound in the background?
I've always worried about the deal you had to make for that interview, Mark. I'm always worried.
It's not a big deal. I like it. It's fine. These guys, they're nice guys. They're really straightforward about things.
Don't tell me they're angels, right?
No, but they have excellent cooking. I don't know what kind of meat this is, but it is very tasty with a little bit of paprika and some cayenne pepper on it, maybe red peppers roasted. It's very nice. At least I thought those were red peppers. Anyway, welcome to the News of the Damned. Once again, this is for the week of October 12th, 2014. James, what do you got for us, man?
Well, it's a worldwide event on News of the Damned this week, Mark. We're going to start with Flipkart out of India crashes on the Big Billion Day.
First of all, what is Big Billion Day, let alone Flipkart?
India's largest online retailer, so this is Flipkart, crashed as the Xiaomi Mi 3 mobile phone was released. So I guess this is a Chinese mobile phone, probably an Android operating system, was released. You know, this is kind of, I guess, the Indian equivalent of another iPhone launch. Yeah. And Flipkart just couldn't take it.
Big Billion.
The Big Billion Day referred to a billion hits, I believe.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You know, it used to be a big deal to say you've got, a million users or N number, 1,000 users per second, hits per second. Big Billion Day. It's Cyber Monday, Black Friday, and Big Billion Day. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we love our celebrities, Mark.
Yeah.
And these celebrities just can't learn from each other on when you make some sort of public announcement, kind of like the conscious uncoupling that we spoke about at last SDPCon.
With conscious uncoupling, but also Princess Kate.
Yeah, with Gwyneth Paltrow and her website, whatever the name it was, going down as a result. Yes. Well, this time it was Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. Baby announcement.
Yep. Crashes the Preserve website.
Well, think about it's Prince George, right? It's Princess Kate and the Duchess of Cambridge, who was the first recipient of the PerfBytes award for causing the most damage and disaster.
But you know what? I think the Clintons are upset.
Why?
Because when Chelsea gave birth, their website did not crash.
Yeah, but celebrity in movies and music and stuff is nothing compared to politics. And, with all due respect, Chelsea Clinton she's not herself a politician. She's a notable person.
No. She's Princess Chelsea, and this was Prince whatever who was born, right?
It was just like ex-president, ex-princess. I mean, it's not like with Prince George, he's going to be Prince George forever. He can never not be Prince George. But like President Clinton, let's be honest, the guy's no longer a president. He runs his own little thing, right? So Chelsea's just Chelsea. I mean, she's just the first kid kind of thing.
You got a point there.
Yeah. It's just not as exciting as these other actual movie stars.
Well, as a measure of celebrity, she can't claim that she crashed a website.
Well, what was the Preserve site you mentioned?
It's some sort of website for celebrity news and stuff like that, and people go and make announcements, and so it's Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds crashed it with a baby announcement.
Yeah, very good. So the guys at Preserve, and I've seen there's just been like an explosion of sort of crap news sites. There's just all sorts of these different domains, and they must be probably all sourced from the same location and We got to get into that business. I think we could scale much better than these guys. We can handle a baby announcement anyway, don't you think?
Oh yeah, Mark, I think you and I need to talk after the upcoming election about our model for not having election returns websites go down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Actually, you could do you could host the next Whopper on how to survive point load.
Yeah, actually, that would be a good topic.
You could propose that. Yeah, we're going to publish the industry proven techniques for surviving point load. Would be great.
So Mark, next up is a government website from the UK. They're changing their process for how you pay your UK road tax. I mean, for governments, there's two certainties in life. There's death and taxes, and sometimes they collide. Yeah. And in this case, it's the UK road tax website, which is the DVLA website, crashed on its first day of operation.
Nice.
And people couldn't pay their road taxes.
People couldn't pay their road tax. And of course, they pay the road tax on the other side of the road from where we would pay our road tax, right?
Yes. The sticker is on the right-hand side instead of on the left. Makes sense.
You put it on the other side of the window. Yeah, just make it easier to see. That makes sense. But what is that? I mean, I don't know. We don't have. What if network connections had sort of the network connections left and right, so it's backwards? Maybe packets travel on the other side of the wire in the UK. Maybe that's what the problem is. That's in Australia, kind of like with toilets, the water swirls the other way. Oh, it's more physics than it is just the sort of normal rules of the law. Yeah. But I went up and I took a look at the DVLA website. Yeah. And they were violating a lot of classic rules for high use websites. They kept people on there as long as possible. They had a large amount of data flows which were not being cached either from a CDN or being cached at the local client. And things that would get you fired in the commercial space where you had a lot of competitors. Yeah. But in this case, it's a monopoly site. You have to go there. You have no choice unless you want to go down to the UK version of the tax office and pay it in person. Yeah. Which is probably even more painful. We've had that discussion on Brits and queues. Yeah. Line up, take a number, that type of thing. Yeah. We can, let's see, what's the, let's look up the website here. It may have gotten better since I took a look at it, but it was, it was a poorly designed website when I took a look at it. That's it. Where's the, I don't see the thing here to pay your road tax. Get vehicle tax for your vehicle. Yep. Oh yeah, there we go. Renew your vehicle tax. Apply using the new service. This is a beta service. Okay, and I'll hang on a second here. I can take that. Apply now. Okay, I'm in. 16, that's my vehicle. Right, it seems to be coming back right now. Okay. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's a nice looking site, but let's see if we just take kind of their site and throw it into GT metrics. So this website, so there's some front end performance caching rules and stuff that these guys missed. Not using a CDN, maybe. Absolutely. Even if it was a CDN inside of the government. Mm-hmm. So it was offloading a bunch of the static items and keeping that throughput for the dynamic elements on the back end. They could have dramatically improved performance. Yep. And, it is unfortunate that this occurs at this day and age. It is. And again, we'll have to send it off to Mahesh and Richard Bishop. Get in there and fix that. Maybe they can get a variance on their vehicle tax for helping. You're contributing their efforts. Beautiful. So, Mark, the next item I have to bring up is a little sensitive. Really? Why? It involves crashing of a website related to shoes. Okay. Like ladies' shoes? No. You may be familiar with the movie Back to the Future. Oh, yes. And the shoes that Marty McFly wore. Oh, yeah. Did he wear Connie All-Stars? He wore Air Mags. Air Mags, yes. Okay. Air Mags. Right. Well, Universal Studios has licensed the Air Mags to a Halloween website,
for production so that people could buy them for Halloween use.
Okay.
Which I guess they probably sell a Air Mag hoverboard combination.
Yeah.
And all the shoe geeks out there,
Yeah.
that buy from Nike, Adidas, Converse, whoever else, get these unique shoes. There's probably a website like shoegeeks.com or something.
Yeah.
They all lined up for the Marty McFly Air Mags. Universal Studios had no idea what was coming, and neither did the Halloween costume shop that licensed the rights to sell them and produce them.
Yeah, I see a posted apology from Tyler Messner, and the customer service manager at HalloweenCostumes.com. And he wrote an entire apology, update and apology from HalloweenCostumes.com. Poor guy. Air Mags. They were never real shoes. They were a futuristic version of Air Max, right? But they were magnetic.
Yeah. I mean, it was a takeoff on a Nike branding, the Air branding from Jordan, essentially.
Yeah. Now we should. Are these? Does Nike have anything to do with these shoes?
No. There's no swoosh on them at all.
There's no swoosh or anything.
It is purely a Universal Studios invention for that movie.
Wow. Why didn't Universal Studios call up Nike and say, guys, we're thinking of doing this. Why don't you go together with us on this thing? And the first thing they'd call the guys at the e-commerce site at Nike and be like, you don't understand. Our fans are fanatics. They'll crash your website.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know better. Oh boy, now we need to make friends with somebody at Universal Studios because this could have been prevented. But I like the shoes. They're very space age. They're kind of Star Trek looking, actually.
You gotta get that silver look to them.
Yeah. I like it. All right, cool.
Next up, Mark, Celebrity version 2.
Celebrity version 2? What?
This has to do with a wedding.
Okay.
Amal Alamuddin and whoever is that guy that got married to over in Venice.
What?
George Clooney.
George Clooney did get, yes.
He got married. I'm blocking him, but
yes,
I do recognize his wife,
yes.
Amal Alamuddin.
Oh,
who is
sorry.
a human rights lawyer.
Yes.
And evidently she found that all of the organizations that she was associated with needed website upgrades.
Okay. Because this was an avoided news of the damn situation. But as the wedding got closer and her name became more and more public, people, of course, wanted to find out more about her. And the celebrity overflow event started occurring where they were going to where she was working and things of that nature. This is interesting. This may be the first time we've covered this, is somebody going from non-famous to famous, right? She was relatively unknown. I mean, people in the Hollywood circles would know who this person is, and not totally unknown. But now all of a sudden you get married and everyone's digging into your associations and where you've worked, and they're looking at every internet link they can get their hands on, right?
And probably all of the people who are upset that you were taking their place with George Clooney and they want to go crash their website and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah, that's not. I don't know that jealousy would really fuel somebody to do that much. Then maybe they get a copy of they go use a blaze meter and go blow up someone's site. Get Jamie to running.
Probably.
Yeah, that'd be fine. But they are a happy couple as far as I can tell. They've been together a long time. They just finally got married, right?
That is my understanding.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a fanaticism once again. I wouldn't even call it /, right? Because it's not like somebody else broke the news. They got married, and then these snoopers, these fanatical people are like, "Who is this person? I need to." Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, this is not like Joanna Rohrbach being outed on the Huffington Post or anything like that.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
For the site that shall go unnamed.
Yeah, no, that we can name this one. That'd be fine. But yeah, so it's a shame because she's a human rights lawyer before anything, right? So people are trying to go see stuff and dig up the dirt. Welcome to Hollywood.
Yes. And lastly, Mark, is also another government issue, and this involved, I believe, it was either Hong Kong or Singapore. but it involved a request for comment on a law change.
Okay.
Involving an Equal Opportunities Commission, said that more than 5,000 submissions of comments have been received by Friday, and it had not been possible to count these received over the weekend, which had overloaded the website, caused it to crash. So this was intense public interest related to essentially a human rights law for anti-discrimination.
Anti-discrimination law in China, or Hong Kong and China. It's not related to, people have heard on the news the other protesting kind of stuff. It's not specifically related to that.
It's not related to this, or it's not related to that particular set of protest. But in this case, it's government not able to accept comments coming from citizens.
Well, this is very peculiar, because accepting comments is a fairly asynchronous thing, because a lot of people posting comments, I wonder if this is just like a DDoS in disguise. Because, a comment thing, you submit it and either it goes into a queue for moderation. They could blow out the queue if that's true. If it's unmoderated, that may be the problem. Maybe it's posting them in real time and it just can't keep up. Or it's just a totally, the site was not built to scale at all, right? They have no asynchronous capability. I would just throw it into a message queue, and then even if it backs up, at least it, doesn't hog resources. It just puts it in a queue.
I think it was just poor design.
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's that we're in government. We have this kind of monolithic view how things should be done.
Could be. Yeah.
And we're not planning on this substantial load coming in, because we're used to dealing with people almost really on a serial basis.
Yeah.
We might have multiple lanes open, not at lunch, of course, if you ever go to the DMV at lunch.
Yeah.
It's pretty, it's all backed up and everything. But, most of the time governments deal with people on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah.
When you start talking about one-to-many, it is a philosophical change in how they have to work with citizens. And most of the time, if you've got developers who have been used to that serial type of service for a limited number of individuals that have to touch the system, making that leap can be quite difficult.
Yeah. And they may have just taken some off-the-shelf technology that could be tuned to support this, but they didn't do that. You could also use some stuff in the cloud, but again, China, there are certain cloud providers that you and I know and take advantage of that are not necessarily available in the greater Republic of China, right? So,
true, but all the open source tools generally you could get. Sure. You could get a Squid. You could get any number of other CDN caching solutions.
ActiveMQ. Put ActiveMQ behind a comments UI, very simple, slim UI. Scale it out. Away you go. Very easy to do. And you know what? There's nothing super. You don't need ACID compliance on something like comments. At least you don't need it as we might look at committing data for e-commerce, right? You could have 40 different. You could scale out the MQ layer as well, and then just slowly trickle them into a data source on the back end. That is, if you didn't need the real timeness, you just needed to accept what people's feedback was. So I think that's a major oversight. That's an easy one to fix.
So Mark, that is news of the day. We got a couple of government events. We got a couple of celebrity events. And what was the one that gotta go back and look? Oh, Flipkart.
Don't forget India. India and the UK still running neck and neck for 2014. That's only because we've taken healthcare.gov off the list.
I'm getting notes from this year. I don't know if we can talk about it, but I'm getting notes. But.
All right, that's fine. Well, once again, thank you, James, for compiling. Next time, I think I'm gonna pull up Charles Proxy or one of these browser ranking things, and each of the sites we'll go through, I'll actually maybe I should get a score. At least front end performance, we could figure out what's wrong with these.
Sure.
GT Metrics is a good site. They're not a sponsor or anything. I just like their site because they're totally, out on the internet like a proxy. You could do that. You can also do the thing with Shunra's old network catcher. You could do some analysis, get a free website performance on the front end. That's pretty cool as well. And then, of course, Nike, our friends from Nike who are sort of, not in the news. Kind of, maybe they should have been in the news. Do you need are you in the market for some new shoes? Have you been out there getting new shoes recently?
Mark, I have a pair of neon yellow Hyperdunks.
Hyperdunks? Vincent Price likes your shoes.
Yes. I'll bring him to STPCon.
You'll bring him to STPCon. Yeah, that would be really great. Special thanks to our sponsors, Smart Bear, HP. Of course, I kind of miss the Flood.io, Ubik, kind of the classic guys. They're all out there. We're all helping.